Lead yourself first. Hi, I'm Dr. Tatijana, or Dr. T. Welcome to the first episode of Lead Yourself First, Mastering Your Psychology in a World on Speed. Now, I'm starting today with a highly controversial topic, one that honestly makes me a little nervous to say these two words out loud. Self-care. Now, I don't know about you, but this can be kind of a complex and sometimes loaded concept for me. I mean, if self-care were as simple as the marketing world makes it sound, bath bombs, candles, that app that swears to fix your life, we'd all be fine, right? Even doctors, and yes, I'm one, will say things like, you need a bedtime routine, you need to rest more, eat a salad every day. And sure, of course, that's not wrong. Those things do matter. But there's something missing, I think, in how we talk about self-care in our culture. It's gotten flat, a little surface level, reduced to a one-size-fits-all trends and hacks that kind of fade in and fade out. But the thing is, self-care is complex and it goes deep, really deep. So here's a new proposition. There is one self-care influencer out there who I do follow. And this influencer hits harder than any guru, any CEO, or life coach out there. This influencer has also been around for a very long time. Super experienced, actually, since the dawn of the Homo sapien. And the cool part, that influencer lives inside you. You ready? Your nervous system and your brain. The biggest, most powerful influencers you will ever meet. Powerhouses that guide every choice, every action, every emotion, every relationship you've ever had and will ever have. Whether you're aware of it or not, these two guys are always at work for you. Think of them as two giants in constant communication with you. But are you listening? Maybe you need to learn a little bit more about how they speak, their language. Because they speak different than what many of us are taught. Not always as refined and tidy and linear like many corporate wellness programs. Or books that detail the 5 steps of how to get rich and be happy and live a good life. Their language is different. Their intelligence is profound, even majestic. So here's a different take. Self-care is about learning to listen to the biology of your two powerhouse influencers. And this series is about sharing some education and some nuggets on how. Now, I think that so many things in our world have become so complex and convoluted. And maybe we have to go back to the basics. Like the basics of learning how our brains and our bodies work together to make these entities called me and you. Every one of us has our own patterns, our own inner language that's shaped by the biology we all share. You and I are pretty much the same as Homo sapiens. Now, there are some fundamental truths to how biology works for you and me. Individual differences here don't really matter all that much. But then there's this thing called your life experience and my life experience that shapes the inner language that we use to communicate within ourselves. You know that little storyteller in your head? And that's when things start to get different. That's why a one-size-fits-all approach, advice like just meditate or just practice these 5 hacks don't always stick. We're all really the same as Homo sapiens and at the same time totally different. So self-care to me is about building a real relationship with yourself, like a really good, healthy one that includes love and respect for yourself. It's much harder than it sounds, but it's doable. So this is about learning things like what helps you feel steady, what drains you, what restores you, and learning how to respond to that data. Because real self-care isn't about doing what someone tells you. It's about understanding yourself from the inside and acting like you matter, because you do. So let's break this down. If self-care is about learning to listen to your own biology, then you need to meet these two main characters who are running the show. Think of this as your old brain and your new brain. Think of them as your internal co-workers, except these two don't always agree on the priorities. The old brain, we can consider this the original drama department, is your emotional, instinctive brain. The part that's been with us since we were running from predators, not project deadlines. The old brain is super fast, mostly automatic, and always scanning for threat. That's because its main job is to keep you alive. But it doesn't always know the difference between threats, like is a bear chasing me, or is my boss saying, "Tatijana, can we talk?" Here are some examples. At work, your old brain may show up when someone interrupts you in a meeting. Suddenly your heart's racing, you stop listening, and mentally you're drafting your exit. Or maybe when you get an email with the subject line saying, "Hey, do you have time to talk? I need to speak to you." And your whole body tenses before you even open the email. At home, it can be that part that snaps at your partner for loading the dishwasher wrong, even though you know it doesn't actually matter. The old brain is pure energy, emotion, impulse, and instinct. That's literally electrical circuits soaring through you. It's beautiful. It's also what lets you feel joy and pleasure in life. You need it. But if we let it drive us automatically, we may hit a few curbs. So, how do we get our new brain, the thinking, analytical, decision-making self, back online? Let's make this practical. Have you ever watched a baby sleep? If so, you've probably seen its belly rise with each in-breath and its belly fall with each out-breath, all while nothing else moves. Now, all Homo sapiens, including you, were born breathing this way. You were born knowing how to breathe into your belly, your diaphragm. This kind of deep breathing oxygenates your brain. And when you oxygenate your brain, you tell your nervous system, "Hey buddy, you can relax, we're safe here. It's chill time, enjoy it." Now, I know you've heard it before, breathe. But this isn't fluff, it's modern science, and it's also ancient wisdoms like the science and philosophy of yoga. So, let's try this. Next time you have a tough meeting, I want you to inhale to a count of 4. Hold. Exhale to a count of 6. Hold. Don't overthink it. Just do it once or twice. It buys you time, the time that you need to respond like a leader, not like a threat detector. At work, at home, and everywhere else. So at work, when you feel that meeting rage bubbling up inside, take a few belly breaths. No one's going to notice before you speak. You'll likely sound wiser, more thoughtful, because you've grounded yourself before responding. When you're at home, maybe for example, if you have a kid, spills juice for the 3rd time, remember, that's your old brain wanting to yell. Your new brain can choose to laugh, clean, and say, "You're so lucky, you're so cute." Or if you're at the gym, or maybe the gym is the hallway between your bedroom and your home office, think of exercise not as a punishment, but as a way of saying thank you to that old brain for trying to protect you all day. Move, walk, run through that hallway. So here's a wrap-up thought. When you hear the word self-care, don't think candles and relaxing music, and think self-awareness, think self-leadership, think self-respect. Your nervous system and your brain, the ultimate influencers, are always talking. And real self-care begins when you start to listen. So, I'm Dr. Tatijana. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'll see you next time.